You're going to be getting plants, you're going to be able to grow this stuff this year. How wonderful.
Hello, good evening. I'm sorry to have to go early. I have to go early. It's a friend's birthday. If he wasn't a good friend, I would stay, but he's a good friend, so I should go. So we're doing Pigeon Pea today. Anyone know where Pigeon Pea is from? Maybe we can be a little interactive. India! Anyone have any idea about how long Pigeon Pea has been domesticated for, originating in India? Any guesses?
3,500 years.
They're about 3,500 years at least, so thousands and thousands of years. As many of us are aware, India is quite big and has a variety of climates, including some that are very challenging to grow in. So Pigeon Pea was developed within that context purposely as a food crop. As you might also know, in many Indians, probably more than 1 billion Indians are vegetarians. So there are some challenges with that, especially way back then, having to do with protein and all that sort of stuff. And Pigeon Pea indeed has a lot of protein in it. It is second only to soybean in protein, and its protein quality is highly available. So these are all good things about Pigeon Pea. Some of the names of Pigeon Pea, so as far as if you want to like cook Pigeon Pea or figure out good dishes, you know, you can look up the word Pigeon Pea, but also it's now spread everywhere in the world. So if you look up the name of Pigeon Pea in the different languages, you'll have even more luck. So for Indian food, it's usually, well, there's a few names of so many languages, but one is Tur Dal, that's Toor-Dal. Another one is Arhar Dal, Arhar Dal, D-A-L. And another one is like something, 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 Matar. So you'll have to find that one on your own. And then in Spanish, it's known as a ganule, and it's a really popular staple crop, especially in Dominican Republic, also in Jamaica and elsewhere. So if you want to find like good Spanish dishes to use with your pigeon peas, you know, look up ganule. If you want to have Indian food, look up tordal, and so forth and so on. This is an important consideration because if you plant these pigeon peas, you will have so many pigeon peas. I can't even tell you. All of these pigeon peas that we have here are all from Mark and Laura's garden. And he didn't even realize it was plant of the month. So, so these are just, you'll see there's a bunch in here. We got a whole bag of them in here, and he just thought he was bringing them for me because I was like antsy for pigeon peas or something. So I can only imagine if you knew how many pigeon peas that we would have. And some of these are even from last year because he hasn't gotten through all his pigeon peas yet. There's mainly two ways to prepare pigeon peas. One is to pick them while they're still fresh or kind of green. And the other is to just, you know, let them go like one of these, in which case you prepare it just like a typical lentil or bean. So as far as permaculture plants, sometimes people brag a lot about pigeon pea because it has so many functions. So I'm wondering if we can play Guess the Functions game. Jeff, can you tell me a function of pigeon pea?
Nitrogen fixator helps build the soil.
Okay, nitrogen fixator. So pigeon peas have a symbiotic relationship with what's called a rhizome or rhizomi, anyway, like that. And basically they store nitrogen in these nodules in the roots that they've taken from the atmosphere. However, simply growing pigeon pea, even if you inoculate your seeds, is not enough to release the nitrogen into your soil. For that to happen, you have to trim the pigeon pea, or kill the pigeon pea but leave the roots. Otherwise, the pigeon pea will use the nitrogen for him or herself, or I should say him and herself. As far as the improving the nitrogen content of your soil, it's not an automatic. And also, you might want to inoculate your seeds. A really good source for that is different online sources for inoculant. You can probably get some from other people as well. One I'm familiar with is called Nigen, and it's rated very well regarding pigeon pea. Another function.
Pollinators like it.
Pollinators like it, yes. Bees love it, as do many other pollinators. Another function, holla holla.
Food.
Food, good function. And not only food for people, it's also a pretty good crop for livestock if you have tons of them, or these guys for roughage. Another function?
Trellis.
Trellis, yes indeed. Another function?
Understory.
Understory. Another function? Shade. How about some shade? In the summer, if you plant these now, you'll have already very quickly you'll have some pigeon pea. So even if you have exposed yard, some people find it challenging to grow in Florida in the summer. That's because you don't have enough plants, my friend. You need more plants. So pigeon pea will really meet that need for you. And over a couple of years, it'll be big. And even in the beating sun, you can plant around there. And various guys will grow up it. I love growing squash up pigeon peas. But I'm a little squash crazy, so I'll just say that about anything. Any more functions? Some more functions. Windbreaks, another function.
Beautification.
Beautification, they have nice flowers. Another function.
Share. Food share.
Food share.
My neighbors pick them when they hang over the fence.
Oh, nice, okay. So sharing the surplus. Do we get windbreak in there? Yeah. You got one?
Composting.
Composting, nice. Also just the detritus from the plant, when it falls on there, super good as well.
Fodder.
Fodder, yep. Animal feed, absolutely. Am I missing any? I'm sure there's more that we aren't even thinking of. Oh, it also helps prevent soil erosion, and pigeon peas themselves will grow at least up to, because who knows what hasn't been measured, a 2-meter taproot. So that's actually quite a big taproot. That's probably, I would think, aside from their general durability, the reason that they do so well in dry climates is that actually their taproot's going way down, hitting the groundwater, and that sort of thing. So you really don't need to water them at all. In fact, don't water your pigeon peas. That'll encourage the taproot to go down. Also, don't let them die. They're very nice.
How big do they grow?
I guess they'll grow pretty big. I mean, I've seen them taller than that. But I suspect that some will grow even bigger. I don't see why not. Mark was mentioning earlier that some people recommend trimming your pigeon pea, or essentially coppicing it when it's young so it'll grow bushier, and then you'll have more pigeon peas that are easier to pick. Also presumably for flora, not so susceptible to toppling and high winds maybe. That's pretty much what I got on pigeon peas. I'd like to pass around some pigeon peas. Again, we have one here where they are already shelled. That's these ones.
Shawn, I have ground up real seeds and made flour out of it.
Okay, you can make flour, huh?
Really good for browning, fish, chicken.
Yeah, it's honestly a truly amazing plant. So we got these with bags, and some more bags if you want a bag, if you're into that. And we got, just these ones I picked yesterday. So I'll pass them around, and please load up, because as I said, we have kind of a lot. And again, to plant them, it's really complicated. You just put them in the ground. You don't have to water them or anything. Yeah, they're nice that way. If you want to inoculate them with the rhizome inoculant, just soak your seeds in it overnight. Oh, I can recommend, if you want them to grow quickly, of course, soak them before putting them in the ground. Ultimately, they do have to get wet to grow. So if that wasn't clear, you can soak them overnight, put them in the ground, and they'll be popping up, I would say, by the end of the week, maybe 2 weeks. And they grow for about 5 years. Each year, there is generally considered to be declining yield. So that means the first year they produce is usually the biggest yield, and will decline that way. So some people will grow them on a tighter rotation, maybe 2 years and then chop it. Because you have so many of them, you can always grow fresh plants. And they play well with others. Yeah. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope you have a good time with your pigeon peas. And if you have any questions about pigeon peas, I think everyone is fairly knowledgeable. And apparently Fran knows all kinds of pigeon pea recipes. So we better hit her up. Thank you.